And a very good morning to you. It is Thursday, March the 26th, and I am delighted to be back with you. We're here for our session number 3 of the Go Now series, and I'm delighted to be back with you today. And we're going to be starting, well, promptly now. It is 10 a.m. here in the East Coast, and I'm so grateful to be back with you. We are going to talk about today what the steps are that are required for you to set up an online business. And we're doing something really special, something that I've been thinking about for many, many years, and something that we will be doing throughout the next few days. And good morning, good to see you here. Who do we have on the call today? We have Deborah, we have Christina. Good to see you guys here. Type in your name and let us know where you are and where you're calling from or connecting from this morning. It is a beautiful day here in Ottawa. Let me just adjust my screen a little bit to get a little bit of the glare away. And we're going to talk today about steps that are required in order for you to set up a very successful business. And I want you to really get yourself prepared. So I always keep handy a pen and a pad of paper always beside me on my desk. And if I don't have my pen and paper handy, I will use my phone to either make notes, or I will put notes in my notes file or record audio notes. But nonetheless, it's important that you do really pay attention. We're doing something really special today. Hey, Lois is here. Good to see you, Lois, from Sterling, Ontario. Patrick's here from Virginia. Lorette is here as well. Ida from St. Martin. Nice. Connie's here. Wonderful to see you, Connie. And Alan. All right, great stuff. Celine's here. Trace is here. Who else do we have here? Maria from Hamilton. All right, great stuff. All right, good to see you guys this morning. So I want to talk about what are the steps required in order for you to create a very successful business. And then we're going to share with you something really exciting that we've got prepared for you as well. So the first place to start when you're thinking of creating a business is to connect to something that you're personally passionate about. And yesterday we were talking about that in session number 2 of the Go Now series. And the reason why, let's just talk a little bit about that particular step. The reason why it's so essential that you find something that you're passionate about is because the passion is like fuel. It'll keep you going. It keeps your engine revving. It keeps you going, long days perhaps, if that's what you decide you're going to invest in. It certainly will get you back and engaged and excited once again for the project that you're working on. So I have been, as you know, in business for over 25 years and studying personal development for over 40. And my business has been built around my passion. And any time we as a team bring together something to the world, either it's free content or free resources or programs that we create or services that we're offering, it's all based on passion. So that's where it starts. And I think it's so important to really connect to what you're passionate about, not to create based on what do you think you can make the most money at. Although you can certainly make money at your passion. Now, there's an expression that's been going around for many, many years, and you may or may not have heard it. And the expression goes like this: do what you love and the money will follow. Well, I'm going to challenge that statement. I do not believe that's true. And I can cite countless examples of people who attempted to do what they loved and the money did not follow. And the reason why the money didn't follow is because they didn't know what to do and they didn't implement effective, proven techniques, strategies that would have set themselves up for success. Well, good news for you, that's why we are here. Now, we could just go about and do our business and continue to, create great products and services and bring them to the world without telling you anything about how we do it or going through any of the ideas that we follow through. However, we really want to serve you, and we really want to make sure that there are more and more people in this world that are not only connecting to what their passion is, but are creating success out there because it has a wonderful positive ripple effect. ripple effect, especially right now. And that's what we're really looking for. Now, I don't know about you, if you tune into negative news or not, or whether you're putting your television on or going online and looking at the news, but every once in a while, I'll take a peek. And the reason is because I want to know what's going on and where do we stand. And, is the city shut down, locked down? I mean, they're talking about, different scenarios in different parts of the world where they're preventing people or asking people to please not to leave their homes and don't go socialize with other people and social distancing and things like that. And of course, what does that mean? It means that people that were accustomed to doing things in a certain way aren't doing them that way anymore. So more people are at home. Well, I believe now more than ever, it's a perfect time for you to not only raise the positivity in this world or bring some positivity in this world, but help the economy. And how can you help the economy? Well, you can help the economy by creating success for you and by bringing something of value to the world and by helping people. And that'll definitely help the economy, and it'll definitely contribute to the economy rather than just cowering away. Now, I know there are a lot of people in the world right now that are feeling, fearful is probably the best word to describe it. And I can understand that. I mean, it's uncertain times. We're experiencing things we've never experienced before. But I do know with absolute certainty that something really good is going to come out of this. Now, that may sound like a bizarre thing to say, but it's been written in the scriptures. It's been written for centuries that out of every adversity, regardless of how challenging that adversity can be, something good will come out of it, and something good can definitely come out of what we're doing right now. But it's up to us, right? It really is up to us whether we're doing something about it or we're not doing something about it. Now, there will be work involved to do something, but it's fun work. It's not complicated, and anyone who can fog a mirror can do what I'm going to suggest. So if you think about something that you're passionate about and really connect to something that you're passionate about, that's step one. What I love to do is the moment I get an idea for either a program or an offering or something online, I start to think about what would I call it. And I'm going to give you a tip right here. When you give names for your products that help or services that help people understand what they are, or even better, how they will benefit them, then that is a really, really positive thing to do. So that actually is my next step, is starting to think about, well, what would I call it? So let me give you some examples. When I came up with the idea to do the Complete Author Program, so I was thinking from a place of what do I love? I'm an author. And I am enjoying lots of great success as an author. And so that was where the idea came from, to start offering an author program. So I thought, well, I know for myself, I was struggling in the very beginning being an author because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have the guidance. So I was thinking, okay, I want to give people everything that they need to succeed as an author. So I came up with a name, the Complete Author Program. Simple, says what it is, helps people get a understanding, even if it's just a preliminary understanding of what it offers. So when I think about my passion, think about what I could offer or help or contribute with, and then I go looking for a domain name. And as you may or may not know, and I suspect you do, I own approximately 700 domain names. Well, that number is about to change. And the reason why that number is about to change is because I'm going to make them available to you. And the reason why I'm going to make them available to you is because every single domain name that I have, every single one of them came with it an idea, a business idea, either for a product, a service, or something that could be brought out in the world. Either it was for maybe a program, it could have been for a lead generator idea, it could have been some kind of free offering, but either way, every single domain name came with a product idea. So I registered these domain names. Well, we're going to make them available to you, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes, but that was the next step. So what was step number one? Step number one is to connect to your passion. Number two is think about what would you call whatever your offering is going to be. And when you're thinking about your offering, you may or may not know at that point, am I going to write a book? Am I going to create a program? Am I going to create a service? Is this just going to be something that's totally free and I'm going to use it to get lots of what they call eyeballs to the site, and then you're going to sell advertising, or you're going to sell other products or services. And we talked about some examples of that yesterday. So whatever that offer is, that's kind of part of step 2, is determining or thinking about. You don't even have to determine, because the offer could end up going in multiple different directions. And I actually created a series of webinars called Create Your Own Economy recently. And in there, I showed different types of revenue models. And one of the revenue models was a membership revenue model. And I remember a number of years ago, this gentleman got an idea to do a membership site. And it was just an idea that popped in his mind. And he decided to act on it. And he came out with this offer and had 2 tiers. One level's kind of like an entry-level membership, and then a more advanced level membership. And within a very short period of time had generated well over $7 million. Now that's an unusual situation. They don't all generate those kinds of revenues at once, but I have seen people generate 7 and 8 figures, meaning over $1 million or over $10 million in revenue by following through with one idea. One particular gentleman that I know of is a guy that heard about someone else's program, and he decided to promote this other person's program as an affiliate. And we talked about that on day 1 of this Go Now series, how you can be an affiliate. Well, this one gentleman decided that he wanted to promote somebody else's program as an affiliate, and he created his own webinar, really citing what the benefit would be and going into detail of how anyone could tap into this idea and how they could utilize this idea. And he promoted it and ended up earning like well over 8 figures. I think it was something like $15 million, promoting somebody else's program that somebody else created, that somebody else delivers, that somebody else takes care of the customer. And he earned multiple millions of dollars, right? So you may or may not know exactly, well, what would my idea look like, or how would I set it up? How would I structure it? What kind of revenue model would I have if you're not, right now into this space? Now, if you're in our $1 Million a Month program, we talk about all of that in the program. So when we go from step 1, your passion, to step 2 of really determining what's your offer and what would you call it, and then I suggest step 3 is to find the right domain name, or you may want to use one of my domain names. And we're going to have hundreds of them available for sale. Now, we were hoping to have it all available today, but let me explain why it's not quite yet available, but how you can be one of the very, very first people, front of the line, to see what we're offering. And we'll give you that link in a minute. But the reason why it's not yet available is because we're going to be offering hundreds of these domain names. So what's required is my team, Trace, Eric, they have been busting their little butts, working very hard to get this ready. And I know they've been working, like Trace was telling me this morning that Eric worked last night till midnight, maybe after, I don't know. And I know they've been working really, really hard. We've all been working really, really hard on my team with Sabrina and Trace and Celine and Eric and me, all to create these wonderful offers for you. So because there's so many, and every single one of them has to be a separate product in our shopping cart, it's taking a little bit of time to get it ready. It's getting there, and they're going to have it ready by tomorrow, but it's not quite ready yet, and that's fine. So what you can do is, we actually have a link, and I'm just going to test it and make sure that it's working right now for you. I just want to make sure it is working, because we just set it up this morning, and I just want to ensure that, yes, it is. Yay. Okay, so that link for you to find out and sort of get in line with what we are going to be offering is gonowbusiness.com. gonowbusiness.com. So Celine will type it in the little thing here. So gonowbusiness.com is where you can put your name in. So on that page, it says we're almost ready to launch this, but if you want to be notified first, we've got premium domain names that we're going to be bundling, and we have regular domain names. Still all great ideas, phenomenal ideas. But I want to spend a few minutes and talk to you about what's valuable in a domain name and why it's valuable for you to invest in one of my domain names. So the first thing is, every single one of my domain names has come along with an idea that I have personally been inspired with. And it may have come from an idea of, I don't know, just having a conversation with somebody or watching something online or having a meeting with one of my colleagues or whatever. But every single one of my domain names came with a business idea. So therefore, it's already thought out. And so when you register for or you decide you're going to invest in one of my domain names, you're not only going to get the domain name, but I'm going to record a video for you explaining what I see as far as the possibility for this domain name. What I also have recorded for everyone is a special session where I talk about different types of models of revenue that you could apply. So it gets you thinking a little bit expansively as well. So we're going to have those available. Now, some of my domain names, like if you've ever gone to purchase a domain name, like if you go to GoDaddy.com as an example, and you get an idea for a domain name and you go to GoDaddy.com and it's not available, what it will do is sometimes, and you'll see this quite often, sometimes people will be selling their domain names. And they'll sell them anywhere from $2,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yesterday, I got an idea for a domain name and I went to GoDaddy and I found that the domain name wasn't being used, but it was for sale for, I think it was $135,000. That is not uncommon. And the reason is because there's only one, right? There's only one. So it's not uncommon that domain names are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Quite often I'll get emails from my clients. They'll email me and they'll say, hey, Peggy, I went to register a domain name for an idea that I had and it's for sale for $4,088. Should I buy it? And it's like, well, it depends. Depends on what the domain name is, depends on what it's worth to you. But anyways, I just want to plant the seed that some domain names are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And so what we did was we're not only making it available for less than $1,000. They're going to be really inexpensive. And as I may have mentioned to you yesterday, that I discussed this idea with my mentor, and he said that we should charge 10 or 20 times what we are going to charge. But we decided to just go ahead and offer what we're going to offer at the rate that we're going to offer it. So they're going to be really inexpensive, and it will be a first come, first serve. So I suggest you go to gonowbusiness.com and get in line, because the moment it's all available for you, then you'll be able to go there and check it out. And then the next step, once you've established, okay, I've got an idea, and remember, even as you're putting your idea together, you don't have to have it all flushed out. It could be just an initial idea. And I know for me, like I remember when I got the idea for our program called $1 Million in a Month. It was a Saturday morning. I was laying on my couch. I had a blankie and a pillow. I had a little cold. It was over a year ago now, or about a year ago now. And I was laying on the couch and I just started thinking, and I'm always thinking about how will we serve people better? What else can we offer? How can we serve humanity in greater ways? And then it just occurred to me that there are a lot of people who really want to learn how to set up an online business or how to grow their online business. And so I got the idea for $1millionamonth.com. And I sort of sat up, grabbed my laptop, went to GoDaddy, registered $1millionamonth.com. I contacted Trace, my business partner, and I told him about it. And he's like, I love it. Let's do it. We can do it together. And so that's where the idea came from. It just, came from there. And then we acted on it. Now we know what to do to act on it. So if we go to the next step number 4, once you figure out your passion, once you determine what it's called, and when you get the domain name, either from me or from wherever, the next step is to create a launch plan. And the launch plan really involves you determining, getting clarity on what is that offer. And is it going to be a membership? Is it going to be a product? Is it going to be a service? Are there going to be multiple levels of offering? Is it going to be offered as a number of different types of programs or products? Is it going to be an ebook? Is it going to be an ebook that's sold? Is it going to be an ebook that's given away? That's maybe the lead generator that brings people to what the product is, and then that invites them to buy. And maybe there's 2 different levels or whatever. And so that's the next step, is really, deciding, well, what are we launching here? And then creating a plan. So knowing that there will be time to create the product and to establish it and set it all up online, following our guidance, and we certainly know how to do that. We've done that time and time again. Then you can move into action. Now, recently, we've had a couple wonderful clients of ours just get ideas and just bam, moved into action. And I'm going to give you an example of that. One of our wonderful clients is a lady by the name of Jenny. And she got an idea. Now, Jenny is a successful businesswoman, and she's been running her own business for many, many years. And she's an engineer as well. So very smart, lovely woman, very enthusiastic. And she's had businesses that are all in the area of her expertise, and another area of passion. But then she got the idea. She's really loving personal development. She's just fallen in love with it and has been studying it herself for quite some time. And she decided to create an online business in the personal development space. And because she's in our $1 Million in a Month program, she went in there, looked at the templates, the funnels that we've already set up for our clients, and she used those and put in her material, and bam, she had her business, this new business, up and running in a matter of days. And she created the content as well and recorded it. And of course, we teach people how to do all of that, how you can do it so easily from the comfort of your home. In a matter of days, she had this business up and running. I have another lovely woman that we are blessed to work with, Rainey. And we started working with Rainey just, over a very short period of time. Within a couple weeks, Rainey not only had her program up and running, but she was selling it and started to experience revenue. Now, that really is part of step 4, right? It's determining what your offer is. It's getting the domain name and getting it all set up and creating the product and creating the back end. It doesn't have to take a long time. Once you know what to do and you have the right guidance, that's why we're also offering for people to get in $1 million in a month with the domain name. So we've got a couple different levels of special offers that you can take a look at. And I know for people that have never been online before, it may seem overwhelming. But if you've been online, and if you're a subscriber to our email list as an example, and you've been watching the things that we've been doing, you very likely already are somewhat familiar with what the models are. For example, anytime we have offered a free ebook, as an example, Yes to the Dream. And we established yestothedream.com. And so you can go there, you can download the book, and then there's a webinar as well that we've created, and that leads people to invest in Manifest Your Dream Home program. And so anytime we've done these things, like even our manifestation toolbox that we've made available, all of them are leading people to other services and products that we offer. So they're strategic. Yes, they're designed to, give away, bring value, which is something that everyone who is online should be thinking about and should be doing, is finding different ways to bring great value. And it's not that complicated. It's relatively easy to do. I was looking for something this morning on my computer, and I pulled out an old computer. It's sitting here on my desk. I was looking for a program that I created many, many years ago, and I found this video that I had established. It's kind of like a manifestation movie that I created many, many years ago that we gave away. And I sent it over to my team. I said, hey, maybe we can give this away again, and we're thinking about updating it and perhaps revising it in some ways. But you will notice that anytime anyone is out there, even if they're giving away stuff, I saw someone yesterday do a webinar, and it was totally free. It was an open Q&A, lots of great content, and yet they were also offering not only freebies that people could access, but they were offering and inviting people to programs. So we get into the details of really how do you establish yourself in the world? How do you build your brand? What do you call yourself? What do you need on a website? How many websites do you need? Do you need more than one? And not necessarily. How many domain names do you need? Like all of those details is really important. And we love to keep things simple because well, it's just the way we like to have it, is simple. So these are all things that you can do. So step 4 is really getting into the launch, like effectively launching it. And there's a number of different elements that are really important to that, whether you're going to create lead generator pages or just straight sales pages, or maybe you're just creating an information site and you're not even going to be selling anything of your own. You're going to be selling other people's products or programs as well, which is totally fine. One of the ideas I shared with you guys yesterday is a domain name, and I can't remember if I think we are selling this one. It's a premium domain name. And what do I mean by premium? The shorter the domain name, the more value it is, the more valuable it is when they're short domain names. And the more domain names are words that are recognizable, the more valuable it is as well. So as an example, the domain name, one of the domain names that we're going to make available is a domain name that is called humorspa.com, humorspa.com. Now that idea came to me. Now it's not necessarily a personal development idea or a personal development program, but that idea came to me years ago when I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to have a place that you can go online and laugh, right? Like if you've ever had a massage, you know how relaxing that is. Or if you've had a facial, it's very relaxing. Or you go to the spa and get your nails done, it's very relaxing, it's uplifting, and it changes the way you feel, right? And so I thought, well, what a great idea is to have a place online where people can go and just find funny stuff, things that make them smile and or things that make them laugh. And maybe different links going to all these different places online where you can see cartoons, or you can look at comedians, and there could be different levels of humor. It could be like for kids, humor that's non-offensive, and then maybe another little link that takes people to an X-rated area. And maybe you can even, the Humor Spa could be sending out little fun, happy messages every single day. And that would allow someone to build an email list, right? What a great idea. What a fun idea. So that idea came to me and I registered humorspa.com. Now, Humor Spa is 8 letters, Humorspa. The shorter the domain name, the more valuable it is. Now, I know we could get thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even $100,000 for that particular domain name. We are going to make that one available. Actually, it will be for sale. And the reason is, and this is kind of an interesting experience because Eric and Trace and I have been going back and forth with all my domain names. And on the weekend, I started going through the entire list and just pulling out the ones that I'm obviously keeping, like PeggyMcColl.com, right? And so the three of us have been going through the list, and, Eric had sent me back an email and he said, okay, I'm getting the pages ready or whatever. And I remember getting Eric's email and I looked at what he had already started to create, which looks so good. And I thought to myself, these are my babies. It was kind of a weird experience for me because I feel an attachment to these domain names. I really do, because they came from an idea, a passionate idea of my own. And so when I saw that we were going to sell my domain names as like my babies, it was kind of like a weird experience for me of like, no, I don't want them to go. But yet I know I'm never going to launch them. So, well, maybe not all of them. So I thought I have to be willing to let them go. And, perhaps someone's going to love one of my domain names and want to build something phenomenal, where I can look at it, months down the road and go, oh my goodness, look what she's done with that domain name. It's amazing. And just feel the gratitude that that is out there in the world and someone is finally putting it to good use. And so we're gonna have some fun watching people take advantage of these wonderful offers. So we're gonna make the domain names available in 3 levels. So one is you can just buy the domain name if you want, which will come with a video of me explaining what the domain name is, and as well as a video session explaining the whole revenue model idea. And then another bundle where we'll bundle the domain name in with the program, $1 million in a month. And then we'll have a 3rd level of offer. There's only a few spots for this though, where we'll do some private mentoring. That's me and Trace. We'll invest some sessions with whoever decides to go with the private mentoring option. So those are going to be the options that we're going to have available. And we'll tell you a little bit more about it tomorrow. But for now, those are really the summary steps of what's required in order for you to get a business going. Now, step number 4 is really, we're getting into a lot of the details. And of course, what you actually do, like step by step by step, is going to be totally dependent on what your offer is and how you are planning to bring it out to the world. Now, for anybody who's online now and thinking, well, I don't have an email list, I don't have a website, I don't know how to do this, who would want to listen to me anyways? Those are just paradigms, and all they are is holding you back. And if you had somebody behind you that maybe wrapped a cord around your middle and they're holding you back, what would you do? You cut it off, right? And so the paradigms that people are experiencing, and I'm going to include myself in this equation, are really invisible, right? But we create this illusion in our own mind that they're really there. Well, they're not. And so it's more important now than ever that we really get over ourselves, right? And get past these paradigms so that you can get out there in the world and you can start making a difference and you can stop holding yourself back from experiencing the good that you really, really, really desire. Because I believe it is the time to thrive. It really is a time to thrive. And, every morning when I get up and I write in my gratitude journal about the many things that I'm grateful for, what I wrote today, and sometimes I write the same things every single day, but one of the things that I wrote today is that I'm so happy and grateful to have my business that's online, especially now. Now, I love having my online business, and I started my business online many years ago, and I was a single mom when I started the business, and I really just wanted to be home with my son and take care of priority number 1, him, right? Being a mom, that was priority number 1. And what I loved about establishing a business online, even though in the beginning I didn't really know what I was doing, is that it's something that you can do at your own pace. It's something that you can do in the comfort of your home. It's something that you can invest as much time or as little time as you want. And it's something that you can get going really quickly. It's something that you can have revenue coming in the door in a very short period of time, depending on what the offer is, of course. And so, everybody needs to understand that. It's like when you're excited about something, you just want to tell everybody, well, me, my team, we're so excited about this. We just want to tell everybody in the world about it so that they can tap into it as well. So you may ask the question, or might even be thinking, is it necessary that I actually go into your program, $1 million in a month, if I'm, not wanting to invest that money right now? It's like, no, you don't have to. Don't have to. You could attempt to do it on your own. But what I found is that we've had people attempt to do it on their own, and they've gone out there attempting to save a few bucks and found out that they ended up coming back to us afterwards because they realized they didn't know what they were doing. And not only were they wasting money, but they were wasting time. And we certainly don't want that experience for anyone. It is absolutely essential that you follow a mentor or follow someone, whether it's us or someone else, that really knows what they're talking about when it comes to internet marketing. Somebody who's actually been there, done that. Not somebody who, just talks about it. Somebody who actually has established business online that has been producing significant results. Those are the people you really, 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 really want to learn from. But I just want you to know that it's absolutely something that anybody and everybody can do. I want to encourage you to really take this seriously. Dive in now, dive in today. You can go to gonowbusiness.com and you can check out the opt-in, so you can be one of the first people to find out about what our domain names are. Or if you want to find out more about $1 million in a month, you can certainly go to $1millionamonth.com/now, and that'll give you a little more access. Now, I want to check to see if there are, Lynn says, I suspect we're going to love all of them. You truly are sharing your mind with us, so generous regardless of cost. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, you know what? I'm in love with all of them. And, Trace actually had sent me an email this morning, and he showed me the sales page that they're working on right now. And and it was so fun to see the domain names. I mean, I had to really hold myself back from buying them myself, right? Because I'm so in love with them. So thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it so much. And Shelley says, "Oh, they'll go to good homes." Yeah, I know they're going to go to good homes, and that's my wish as well. Shannon says, I love the humor spa idea. I'd go to that site for sure." Yeah, I love that idea too. I think it's fun. We had a friend recently who lives here in Ottawa get checked into the hospital a few days ago, actually. And I've been checking in on him, from time to time. He's had some health challenges in the past. And so I checked in with him the other day and I said, "How are you doing?" And he said he's not feeling very well. And a little later in the day, he sent me a message saying he's going to the hospital. He's going to check in. And I said, "What are your symptoms?" And he said he has coronavirus symptoms: cough, lungs, chest pain, things like that, whatever they were. And so he headed right over to emergency, and they checked him in, and it turns out he has pneumonia. He doesn't have the coronavirus, but he has pneumonia. And so he checked himself in. So he checked himself in, or not checked himself in, they checked him in. So he stayed in the hospital overnight. I suppose they gave him antibiotics, and the next day they released him and said he had to go home and quarantine himself for 2 weeks. To protect himself and to protect others, because he had just been in a hospital, right, for a couple days. And I was thinking, I want to send him something, right? Because I know he's at home, he's alone, no one can visit him, he can't visit anyone else. And I was thinking, what can I send him? And I was thinking about humor, right? And wouldn't it be great if the humor spa was available right now where you could go and check it out or check in online? And that could be a really fun thing to do. But I was online looking at humor books, joke books, puzzles, different things, Sudoku, different ideas that could actually have him entertain himself at home. Okay. All right, great. Okay, good. Here's a question from Lamont Green. Lamont says, "Hi, Peggy. You've spoken over the past 3 days about doing something that you're passionate about. I spent the last 30 years in the corporate world, pharmaceuticals, doing something that I loved, leading and serving people." Oh, I love that. "I now have to shift my paradigm from worker to business owner. It's a little scary. How do you make the jump? What do you recommend?" I love that, Lamont, and I appreciate you asking, and congratulations for putting 30 years into the corporate world. I came from the corporate world as well, and I understand it's scary. I wouldn't think about going back to it now, but I think for me, probably the scariest thing was missing that automatic payroll deposit thing that they used to do all the time, which of course, when you're running your own business, you got to be earning the money, which I think is a good motivator, actually. It's a really, really good motivator. So I would turn the fear into faith. Now, how do you do that? Well, how you turn the fear into faith is you connect to the outcomes that you desire. So, Lamont, you've got an area of expertise. You're someone who has been leading and serving people. Well, that skill set is something that you may think is just norm for a lot of people. Maybe not, I don't know. But it's not, and it's something that I know a lot of people really want to know more about. One of my clients is a gentleman by the name of Steve Farber, who's from San Diego, and Steve Farber speaks on leadership. And we started working together a number of years ago, and he had written a few books, and they're fable type of books, but now he's teaching leadership as well. Not only because he used to speak, like that was a big part of his business, conferences. On stage, keynote speaker, conferences. Well, is he doing that now? No. So he's going to move business more to online. Now, I don't know if he has or not. But anyways, the point is leadership, whether it's leadership or leading others, leading people. It could be captains of sports teams. It could be parents. It could be, number of business. It could be leading teams, small teams, whatever. It is absolutely an essential idea, an essential subject matter area that you obviously have a lot of experience in. 30 years in the corporate world is credible, right? So what do I recommend? I recommend that if that's something that you would love to do, start thinking about that. What could you do or what would you do online in that area of expertise if that's something that you would love? Now, you very likely have other areas of expertise as well. Maybe there's other interests that you have that you might be considering, ideas that you could bring forth an idea to the marketplace. So I would say that, you can take a look at, we don't really have a lot of leadership type of domain names because that's not my area of expertise. It's not something that I've been speaking on or connecting to. I've actually done leadership trainings, but it's definitely not something that I claim to be an expert in. And so if that's something that you want to do, I would suggest you start thinking about how you could bring that online, how you could perhaps do some leadership training, and how you could maybe create a program on leadership. Maybe it could be a membership site as well for leaders. It could be something that you lead, but yet it invites discussion groups and masterminding as well. You could do something like that. That's what I would suggest. All right, great question. Thank you so much. Shannon shared something that she's sharing right here. Yeah, I think it's important to share humor as well. And Celine says, great leadership is always a need. Absolutely. And you know what? Something you could do, Lamont, is right now we're in very unique times, right? Maybe it's leadership in challenging times. That could be one of the things that you focus on, or it could be something that you decide that you're going to create as well. So check that out. $1 million a month. Celine just put the link there for our free ebook and our free webinar. You could certainly check that out as well. Okay, so let me know if you have any other questions. We just got a few minutes here before we're jumping off this call. We are going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about the author world and how anyone and everyone could become an author right now, what's required, what would you do in order to start that process. So we'll be doing a special session tomorrow. Also, if you have already entered your name to find out more about the domain names that are going to be available tomorrow, know that we will get back to you. We're going to be sending out an email, but we'll let everyone know about that anyway. So we'll definitely let you guys know. And if you want to be one of the first to know, then definitely let us know, and we'll be sure to get you that information before it goes public to the world, because you may want to grab one of the domain names. As I said, I know with certainty many of these domain names are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Matter of fact, if you're a smart cookie, you might even want to buy them and then resell them later. That's up to you. Totally up to you. Okay, so Margaret has a question, and Celine says she's typing it out. So here we go. All right. Created a 6-month mental health programs. How do you find paying clients on the internet? Yeah, that is absolutely an important part of the other process of any business. We teach it in detail. So it's something that it's not a quick answer. You absolutely have to establish yourself. You've got to create some different resources and tools that you can make available online. We talk about how you can build your following with little or no money. We talk about how you can build an email list. We talk about multiple strategies for doing this. So we absolutely do cover that off in $1 million a month. So Margaret, if you're not in that program, you definitely want to get in $1millionamonth.com/now, because we go into detail about that. That's the most critical part of the success of anything. One of the most critical parts, not the most critical, but it's one of the most critical parts. All right. I help high achievers, etc., overcome anxiety and depression without prescription drugs. Oh, awesome. Love you too. Thank you. Oh my goodness, could that be more in demand right now than ever? Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I love that you're doing that work, Margaret. So needed. I mean, it was needed 6 weeks ago. It's definitely needed now. Just think about what people are dealing with right now. So love that you're doing that. Your business should be skyrocketing right now. You've got an opportunity for that business to skyrocket right now. So I wish you great success with it as well. So that is a really phenomenal idea. Okay, everyone, we're going to be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in. We will record it as well. But one of the things that you're probably getting a gist of here is that I do address questions during our calls as well. So tomorrow we'll have more time. If you have questions, you can let us know. You can save them or bring them to the call tomorrow. I will be talking about being an author tomorrow, but if you have any question about anything, we'll talk about that as well. All right, so good to see you guys again today. Fun to be back with you, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next part of the Go Now series. And remember, go to gonowbusiness.com where you can enter your name and be one of the first to know about these domain names that we're going to make available for you. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks, Celine. Thanks, Trace. Thanks, Eric. I'll see you guys again real soon.